Blast off! You don't know this, but I get a countdown like 3, 2, 1 before it starts recording. Anyway, welcome to my world and my messy house and our normal like preview video. This is week 7. That means we're halfway done, guys. So I encourage you to look at what your grade is right now. And, maybe you're like, it's cool, this is good. I've been doing the work and my grade reflects that I've been doing the work. And I'm doing okay, which is wonderful. That's what we all wish for. Or maybe not. And if not, and you feel like overwhelmed and I don't know what to do, please, please, please get in touch with me. I can help. Okay, I'm not here to be like, you should have done this and should have done that. Now it's too late. Sometimes I might feel that way because I get annoyed, but that's really like, I'm usually big enough to get over myself. And I really, truly, I believe strongly in the importance of scientific literacy, and I believe that that's one of the things that this class helps you get, and I want you to get that. Got it? Good. Okay, so we're continuing on in our unit about physiology and your bodies. So we start out with soft chalk, the bones and musculature and how they work together, which is kind of amazing and cool stuff. Then get into digestion, and then building an organism, and I admit, it's been a while since I looked at this one. I want to open it up just to double check. It's not going to look like anything here. Okay, just kidding. I'm just going to assume then that you'll be building an organism and understanding that well and enjoying it. Because, sorry about that. I did a bad thing. Okay, hold on. Be patient. I'm getting back there. Anyway, soft chalk, build an organism. There we go. Just 2 points, so it's probably not going to be that hard anyway, right? And then we get into a little bit about metabolism, and I think we've mentioned homeostasis. It's sort of like equilibrium in an ecosystem. So a lot of the stuff that we talk about here is applying the same kind of principles to different systems, like ecology we learned about first, and now we're learning about physiology, but a lot of the same principles apply. The way that your organ systems work together, you could think of it as very similar to the way that different populations work together out in nature. So that's helpful, right? How our bodies maintain homeostasis, which is that balance point, and some sad stuff if you're like a fad dieter, like this is not helpful for your overall health and well-being, but also for maintaining a regular weight. If you like crash diet and lose a bunch of weight, it's not really very sustainable to do so. Anyway, I just see in the back. Oh, I'm trying to hide the mess back there. Oops. There we go. Just kidding. I have children. It will be messy until they're gone from the home. Whatever. So then we move on to diet and importance of a healthy diet. Processed foods. Oh my gosh. I mean, if you care about the planet or yourself, eat less of those, please. And then some really critical piece right here. So something to be aware of too, especially with diet. People get on real soapboxes about their diets. It can be a very, very touchy thing to bring up, especially with millennials. I'm not seeing you, whatever. So try to read this stuff with an open mind, try. Okay, you might be like, no, my diet's the best. Everybody should eat the way that I eat. And maybe you'll think that way even after, but just try to be open to that. Okie doke. So yes, indeed. So here we get into peer-reviewed stuff, like how we go from scientific research into what gets published to get more clicks on social media. And that's sometimes a huge, huge gap. And even like content that starts out being like credible and well-resourced and well-documented can get cherry-picked bits and pieces, and then it's sort of like the telephone game. By the time it gets into something on social media or published in like a trash website like Natural News, I hate that page. Although it's great for good examples of terrible anti-science dogmatic BS. It's good for that. Anyway, by the time it gets to something like that, it is so different than what the actual peer-reviewed research showed. So something that we've done in here, and hopefully you'll also feel more comfortable doing it in upcoming assignments, go to the primary source. Go to the original source. And you don't have to understand all the vocabulary, but if you can kind of like chunk it out, break it apart, and make sense of it, at least understanding what research was done and what they found, so much more useful than trying to read like a third or fourth source down from the original. You know, reporting on a secondary source makes it a third degree or tertiary source, etc., etc. Anyway, so here we go. The anatomy of a scholarly article, which is good stuff right there, just understanding how, because it's a different way of writing in science, so how papers are written in science. Hypothesis, conclusion, and then what data they used, a cute little infographic about how to read that. And then we are going to read a paper, right, me and the mouse in my pocket, I mean you. Y'all are going to read a paper, but you're going to chunk it up, and then you're going to become an expert in your chunk, like maybe the method section. I think I have it up here, yes. So it's broken out into, some of you will read the introduction, some the methods, which is often the most dry part of the paper, but that's how it goes, understanding how it was done. Some will read the results part about how much food was taken in, and some will read the results about body weight and body composition. And then another group of students will be reading about the discussion. So I think the first post of this is due on the 8th, which is Thursday. So you need to have read it, like, you know, worked on it by the 8th. And then there's a second post, like making comments on the other people who read the introductions post by Sunday night. And then the next part is going to be, you're going to be in a group of like 1 or 2 people who read the introduction and 1 or 2 people who read the methods and all the other sections. And then you'll be sharing with each other so that you understand the whole paper before you go on to take the quiz that's due on Sunday night. So if you happen to be in a group where, like, what? There's nobody who's reporting on the discussion and it's already like Sunday afternoon. Or if you're just like, I can't wait till Sunday afternoon because Sundays is nuts for me and I need to get this done earlier, you may need to read other parts of the paper yourself before you take that little quiz. So the intention is groups sharing their resources and their knowledge together. And then in factual reality, sometimes it's like, oh, the 80-20 rule where 20% of the people do 80% of the work. But if you're expecting something else, you're going to be disappointed. Anyway, so I hope that doesn't happen to you. I hope your group is great. That would be wonderful. Okay, so indeed, primary research article, it may be challenging, right? So these are the chunks. And I think it also reminds you, oh yeah, how to figure out which group you're in, right? The group name for this assignment tells you what section you're in. If you go up to groups, so I always, you know, this is the name of it, but I put the module number in front of the group. Right, and then it's diet and health. I thought I gave it a different name. I thought I named it 7, and then I named it section. I'll have to double check that. I think maybe for one class I did that. Maybe I didn't save it for the other class. Anyway, I think it's 7 and then section, and then introduction, etc., etc., etc. Whatever. Hopefully this makes sense to you. That it has this part you're supposed to read on there. Okay, and then moving right along. Oh yeah, anyway, so second post due Sunday night. Here's just the placeholder for the second post. It just reminds you that you need to do that. And then there we go, sharing what you read. So for 73132, there are 3 groups. For 73150, because there are so many students in that class who don't do the assignments, I just made 2 groups because I want to make sure that you have at least one person that's reporting on each section, which is kind of sad to me, but like, what's going on, folks, that you're registered for the class? Why aren't you doing the work? I don't understand. I want to help, but I can't help unless you let me. Okay, so yeah, so this one you're sharing about the specific section of the paper that you read and using those prompts to do so. Let's go back to here. There we go. Then a little quiz to look at how well you can understand and make sense of food labels, kind of important stuff. And then we do another one of these that I think are super awesome. Oops. There we go. Getting to know a science. So this is a guy, he is at Duke University. Can't remember where Duke is. I think it's in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, maybe. Not sure. But a very, very prestigious university, and somebody who studies gut microbes and gut health. Kind of cool stuff. Here's the paper that he read. So just like we did last time, we're going to read a little bit about him, and then you are going to answer some questions about his research. Okay, and then the quiz, and then we move on. And here's the great stuff. So a little soft chalk there just to understand how experiments are designed and how we make claims in science. So something to please note for those of you who actually watch these videos. And this, I see this on social media a lot. If you know, scientific proof, right? I just had some wingnut who just makes me crazy. I've been crazy a lot lately. Anyway, he made a documentary that's just junk. And he's offering, you know, $10,000 if you can scientifically prove, you know, whatever. It's like that masks work, or, you know, whatever the nonsense was. But that's not the way that science works. You might just have the word idiot tattooed on your forehead when you talk like that, because science doesn't make proof. In fact, what's so beautiful about science is that it's humble, which often gets twisted in popular media to mean that like scientists don't really know what they're doing, and they're not confident or whatever, which is so far from the truth. They're cautious. Good science is cautious. It moves forward slowly and carefully. Oh, and I see my neighbor coming to the door. Not right now, Gerard. He's so dear, but like his timing's a little off right now. I may need to pause and then start up later. I'm going to do that. I'm going to see if I can do that too. Okay, that worked okay. Got to get the cool little things for my kids. Anyway, it's nice to have neighbors who are sweet and dear and lovely. Okay, so I was talking about this reducing stress experiment. I think I have it opened up. No, right here. Oh, crap, oops, I don't. Okay, so please do read over this. You need to start it today. 5 days. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So take that stress test and then choose if you want to do meditation, this guided meditation. It's 5 minutes. Awesome stuff. It doesn't depend on air quality. Or 20 minutes of exercise, whatever you do, intensity exercise, so like cardio stuff, like running inside probably with the air quality right now, or you know, whatever you do that's exercise for 20 minutes. So 5 days of either meditation or exercise, and then so before you do that, you take that stress test, and then after you do it, you take the stress test on Friday, right? So just like this, right? Friday, complete the final exercise or mindfulness treatment, do the stress test survey again, and then you submit your data right here, which is kind of weird. It's sort of done as a quiz, but it's just the place to submit your data. Okay, and then you're done for the week. Also, I noticed like I haven't been getting any emails through Canvas messaging, so I don't know if you're sending them and I'm not getting them, or if you're just like, oh no, we're totally cool to keep going. Some of you seem to be. Others are like, oh no, I'm just not doing any work anyway, so I don't have any questions. I'm here for you. Really, I am. Okay? Have a good week.